I mean, look what I got here. Just all kinds of stuff. What is that? Introducing Jet Pedal's Red Sea Wet Dry Wet Stereo Parallel Effects Splitter. This thing is awesome. So this thing can do a lot. And you know what's funny is a few videos ago I was talking about effects loops and stereo and parallel inside the HX Stomp and some phasing issues, and Junior from Jet was like, people are gonna think I made this pedal because of your video, which obviously he didn't. He's been working on this a while, but this is kind of a solution to that problem. He has made one box where you can do all different kinds of routing. The first one we're gonna look at is how I have it wired up right here. It is a wet, dry, wet mix. So I kind of got all these different color cables so you can kind of see where they go. I can also flash on the screen like a diagram that he made, which I had to follow like chord by chord because it can get confusing, but once it's all set up, it sounds amazing. So what we have here is our drive section. I'm using the Rev G2 here in the Rev Tilt Overdrive, going into the Red Sea. Now this is wet, dry, wet, so our overdrives will be coming straight down the middle, and then we'll be able to blend in our wet section. I have the new XFX Tape Echo, which is a stereo delay unit, and then I have the Jet Revelation stereo version 2, MIDI, all that stuff. Pulled it off my board just for this video, so you're welcome. Now, once you get everything set up, you may need to switch the polarity, and he's actually included not one, but two reverse polarity switches here. Now you're thinking, why do you need two? Don't you just need one? If you're flipping it once, you would only need one. That's true, but he said he included two because you can get some really cool effects. I want to read what he said to me so I don't screw it up. Keeping both switches in the same direction, either both up or both down, will give you a pseudo wet, dry, wet sound, as your dry signal will be center panned and will sound like it's in the middle of a stereo spectrum. But if you flip only one of the polarity switches, it will cancel out half of your dry signal, creates a huge stereo image by removing the center panned dry signal and replacing it with equal amounts of dry signal in the left and right channels. So that's awesome. We have options to do whatever we want. Now we have this big knob right here that does all the blending of the two stereo parallel effects loops. So all the way to the right, we're going to remove all of the wet section and just have the dry. And as we go to the left, we'll start introducing more of our wet section. So you can dial in your pedals how you like them, but just blend it on the fly with this huge knob. Really cool. All right, let's see what it sounds like. For those of you who care, I'm using a preset. I'm running this through the HX Stomp XL. I'm using a preset I made just for this. I'm coming into this drive here. I'm leaving the Red Sea and going into the return of the HX Stomp. And so I made a stereo return block right here. Ignore these drives because we're basically just skipping those. I have a noise gate to get rid of any noise that we may have. There was just a little bit, so I want to try to clean it up. And then I'm running 2 amps and 2 of my tone matched IRs. It's pretty cool because I took the Dr. ZMAZ 18 tone matched IRs and paired them with the matchless channel 2 amps, and it sounds really good. So here is our dry tone. Now this is in the middle and both of our polarity switches are heading in the same direction. Let me show you what it sounds like when I switch those. So that is our dry signal going to both sides, where when I flip it back, it's coming right down the middle. Pretty cool. Like he said, the widening happens there. Now let's put the dip switches back in the same direction. I'll go all the way one way. Turn the delay on. We won't hear anything because we're all the way this direction. There's our delay. And then you can set the mix at 100 over here and just blend what you want, or dial these into taste, especially since I have a reverb and a delay. I actually put the mix on the reverb a lot less. nice. And all the way to the left, you're bringing in as much of that mix as possible. So that is the wet, dry, wet setup. Now, I want to show you the next one where I'm gonna have to rewire everything and come back, but I'm gonna put, we'll be able to blend our wet sections. So we're gonna put delay on one side and reverb on the other. Don't go anywhere. I bought these like sound panel patch cables, TRS patch cables, and they're all color coordinated so I can kind of keep up where all of them are going. All right, I gotta follow the picture, make sure I don't screw this up. We're going for the stereo parallel effects loop so we can blend delay to reverb just like this with the knob. So, got my colors, here we go. Coming out the right, going in, send 2. Coming out the left, send 4. Out the left, go return 4. Come out the right, and go return 2. Is that clear as mud? All right, the delay only has one input, so I only have to worry about one of those. We're gonna come out, send 3, go in. Let's use these. These are pretty. Come out left, turn 3, out right, turn 1. There we go. So these two will continue to go to the return, but I need to come out the send with TRS split Y cable to retain my stereo path. All right, on this preset, I need to make a change. I actually need to make sure I use the effects loop. All right, so if I turn these on, we get a little bit. So all the way to this side, I only have reverb. And you can max out your mix. And then begin to back away. I was just getting some noise, and I realized if I switch the polarity, it went away. Adjust the delay sound. That sounds pretty good. There are some other things you can do. I've tried it here in the room where you can actually send this instead of like to an HX Stomp. You can send it to 2 different amps and have like a wet, dry, wet going on there. You can also, if your amps have effects loops built into them, you can blend amps. So say you have like a Fender style amp and a Vox style amp. You can blend the 2 amps. That's pretty cool. There's several different things. I'll pop those different options up on the screen. If you're in the market for something like this and you want to support this channel, I have an affiliate link. I would appreciate it if you use it. All it does is it gives me a little bit of commission, but it doesn't charge you any more. I also love the artwork on here. It's really cool because we have the waves and the red, we're splitting the Red Sea, and over here is like the wet, and over here is the dry ground, and I think that's just brilliant. I love it. Good job, Junior, for making things that people will actually use. I mean, there's no way in the past that you would be able to like come up with all these different rig options this easily. So thanks for innovating, and I know you got some new cool things coming right around the corner. So hey, if you're not subscribed to this channel, do that. If you like this kind of stuff, leave a comment down below. What do you think about this? Is this something that you would get? Do you have multiple amps? I tried it with my amps, like I said, and it sounds really cool just to have that stereo effect and be able to like have the, you know, the left and right, and then having the dry come down the middle, but still retaining the stereo wet effects. That was really cool too. Yeah, let me know what you think down below. How many of you run wet, dry, wet? Is that something y'all do? Would you do it if you had this piece of gear? Let me know. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.